New planetary progress, dearest ones. There is new planetary progress. On Earth, as a result of the restoration of the divine masculine, which now holds a unified harmonic frequency, aligning with the soul dimensions and spreading this unified frequency, there are places we can connect with or visit, if guided, to receive assistance or the activations they offer us. These will help initiate us into new dimensions or reconnect us with those we desire. For others, this initiation will also bring about their awakening as planetary operators. It will be whatever you need for your journey and your personal mission. As many of you, as Arcturian emissaries, know, new Arcturian crystals are being anchored in new locations because as we evolve, so do the Earth spaces that host a fifth-dimensional frequency and even higher, as demonstrated by Uluru, Easter Island, and many other powerful Earth sites. The new place I have recently worked in, Lanzarote, Spain, is both a major Earth grid point and a fifth-dimensional space already protected on all levels, spreading this illuminated frequency throughout the island for those who vibrate at the same frequency band. Charco de los Clicos, on the island of Lanzarote, Spain, holds a unique Arcturian crystal, intended to further stabilize the island, already an enlightened place on Earth, protecting its living forms and all other forms of consciousness. It is also an emerald site containing ruby and solar frequencies to restore masculine energy, which is also in a phase of rehabilitation, extending its emerald love frequency to all the Canary Islands. The other space was already evolved, and it is in England, in the Lincolnshire Wolds. This is another major solar center, now active thanks to the restoration of the divine masculine taking place on our planet, and the important masculine pillar grid it contains. Many important interdimensional energies are coming to our planet to help us transform our consciousness and create our new Earth. Every planet is a gateway for Earth to receive new energies, as each one represents a unique entrance into a different dimension and universe. Some planets, like Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn, have already, throughout their evolution, embarked on a path toward a new harmonic sphere of creation, just as many of us are doing now. For the macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm, and vice versa. Our conscious thoughts, feelings, and actions contribute to the creation of the new Earth. We do not need to repair grids or force them, unless it is our mission or we haven't arrived there yet, as I know many of you are struggling internally to expand your mission, without realizing how much you already do for the whole. Repairing energy grids is something only beings evolved from light and planetary architects can do, and we simply provide support from our physical space. We do not need to be and do more, as this is a spiritual distortion many have been led into, nor do we need to compare ourselves to others, thereby diminishing our precious and unique divine spark. By being yourself and acting with absolute integrity and humility, you are already doing everything necessary to contribute to our current planetary ascension. If we are meant to do something else, we will be informed by our authentic divine sources, soul, monad, and unified self, and no one else. First comes the feeling, guidance, or vision of who we are and what we need to do and be. Then comes the confirmation. When we don't know, we don't force it, because we know that with our simple presence, essence, and willingness to act benevolently, we are already offering fair help. In divine timing, each of us moves where we need to be. We only need to be willing and open to receive, accept, surrender, and move into the space the divine has reserved for us. May you recognize the importance of your presence and your unique role on Earth and throughout all creation, beloved ones. Thank you for your love, your compassion, and your unique mission. Within infinite love, Natalia, Alba, El Morya. There is nothing wrong with you. Do you wish to be reborn? Live the future by shaping it in the present. Dearest ones, the days fly by, and when you look back, you often ask yourself, where did the time go, and how did it pass? The wheel of karma spins faster and faster, and the opportunity to free yourself from this law of time presents itself more and more quickly. You perceive it, you feel it, and you know that the time for definitive change has come, and that today, here and now, you have a choice and must make a decision. Do you wish to free yourself from the repetitive cycles of life, strung one upon another like pearls in a necklace, or is there something still holding you to this solid, material Earth, so far from its origins? This question is of fundamental importance, because your future depends on the answer. Can you imagine being reborn as a human being among other human beings? Do you desire to experience new adventures in this world? Has your desire been fulfilled? Do you seek friction to feel alive and connected to yourself? Or has your inner self become peaceful because you have entered a realm of peace? Are you dancing on the waves of life? Or do you fear being overwhelmed? Are you fighting for the sake of fighting? Or because a divine command compels you to? How honest are you with yourself, with your needs and desires? Is your journey on this plane complete? Have you lived your life to the fullest? Have your desires been fulfilled and your aspirations satisfied? Everything follows its course. The rising of the earth happens under God's protection, and you either resonate with it or move away from it. Being prepared for what is to come means having answered these questions honestly and truthfully. You don't have to answer to anyone, nor burden anyone with your decisions, nor reveal your true motives to anyone. The only thing that matters is knowing yourself and loving your choice. Love your decisions. There is nothing wrong with ascending at a later time. There is nothing wrong with simply living instead of meditating. There is nothing wrong with hiding the good within you until you have experienced and lived the bad. There is nothing wrong with letting the wheel of karma turn as long as this or that experience continues to fascinate you. There is nothing wrong with you, unless you are ignoring your true needs or living a life that does not reflect your true calling. Have the courage to be yourself and observe what excites you and what frustrates you. Change yourself or stay as you are. The most important thing is to know yourself and love your decision. Let go of expectations and live your life without false considerations. Stop hurting yourself by living as others expect you to. Begin to love yourself as you are now and live according to your own design, vision, and purpose. You don't have to abandon anyone, give up anything, hurt anyone, or repress anything. It is simply about being yourself in the place where you live. Then you are ready for this change, which is rapidly spreading throughout the world and leading every person to realize how much they identify with the old world or how much they reflect on the new world. Time transforms everything, but those who are transformed eventually leave time behind. With infinite love, Master E.L. Morya. A word about chaos. Groups of people, even entire countries, share collective states of consciousness. Each one of us influences our shared atmosphere of consciousness, for better or worse. As spiritual people who understand the vital necessity of higher consciousness, we have a power to influence world consciousness far greater than we imagine. It is a silent power that seems almost lost in a world populated by billions of people. Yet your individual practice of attaining higher consciousness can actually elevate the thoughts of millions of others. This principle of powerful influence through higher states of consciousness is described in detail in my book, The Shift, The Revolution in Human Consciousness. Another section of the book deals, appropriately in today's world, with chaos. In the chapter, A Word About Chaos, it states, in physics, chaos is a phase that occurs during a transformation. You can resonate a container of water with sound waves that generate a balanced, symmetrical pattern on the water's surface. Then, if you increase the frequency slightly, chaos sets in. The next pattern on the water's surface becomes irregular and discordant. However, when you increase the frequency further, a new pattern emerges, even more complex and fascinating. Chaos was a temporary phase between a natural state of harmony and its transformation into a higher form. The same thing happens with humanity's transformation through the shift. The frequency associated with the old reality has already increased. The old pattern has been disrupted and is beginning to fade. In its place is an irregular pattern searching for a new form. Discords abound on personal and social levels as old wounds resurface seeking attention and resolution. As the frequency increases further, the chaotic eruptions on the surface of life will settle into a new pattern, even more complex and wonderful. Since I wrote that book in 1995, things have changed enormously. At the time, I announced the shift as a new term to describe the ongoing rise of human consciousness. I didn't coin it. I adopted it from a participant at the Monroe Institute who, after an astral projection into the future, had returned and reported that this was the name they would give to that event in the future. Actually, he described it as a single event, the ascension event that is now imminent. rather than the decades of consciousness growth we are experiencing today. In his observations of the future, people would refer to events as before the shift or after the shift. We may have as little as 2 years before. The ground beneath our feet changes, and with it, our bodies. Ascension will be the sudden transition of all physical matter from third to fourth density. In my book, Ascension to a Higher World, I reveal how this global transformation was designed to give every soul on Earth one last chance to choose between a future of higher consciousness or another cycle of 3D incarnations. Yes, everyone will ascend. No one will be left behind. As always in the past, souls who choose a package of future incarnations in third density will move to a planetary entity that has volunteered to host their experiences. Earth's lowest manifestation after ascension will be the physical fourth density, where inhabitants will be free to create a world built on the love of the heart chakra that naturally resonates with this level of consciousness. So, how much chaos must we still witness before we glimpse that new pattern, even more complex and fascinating than the original? There has never been a better time to connect with your inner self and receive guidance on what you can best do to help yourself and others, where, with whom, and when. Moreover, as I said in Higher Consciousness, there is nothing better than a quiet meditation at the beginning of each day to cut through the daily noise and confusion and find the peace and joy of being in tune with purpose, guided by the inspiration of your soul. Galactic message. Why full disclosure hasn't happened yet on this day? We wish to communicate to you the main reasons why full disclosure has not yet happened in your world. There are several reasons, some positive, some negative. First of all, on our side, the majority of your collective was simply not ready for this event. This is not the first time we have found ourselves in such a situation. As they say on your planet, we know exactly what we are doing. We have already made known to many collectives across the galaxy and beyond the reality that they are not alone in the vastness of the cosmos. Therefore, by analyzing the collective energetic patterns of your civilization, we can see that until recently, such an event would have caused hysteria and mass shock, and that is the last thing we desire. That is why the disclosure process has been slow and gradual. Those with a religious predisposition, in particular, will have more difficulty adapting to the new reality they will find themselves in. But our arrival should not interfere with their faith or their belief in a higher power. We are all children of a higher power, whom many of you call God. We have visited your world for time immemorial, but the main reason why your planet's governments have not yet revealed this information is economic in nature. The fossil fuel industry on your planet generates trillions of dollars in revenue each year. When we reveal ourselves to you, one of the first questions you will likely ask yourselves is, how did you get here? We assure you that our spacecraft are not powered by diesel like your vehicles. We use free energy devices that tap into the infinite reservoir of ether that surrounds you in every cubic centimeter of space. When this energy source is introduced into your society, it will render those currently present on your planet obsolete. Those in power do not want the truth to be revealed because, once it is, they will lose their power. Disclosure of this information by you is not happening for purely economic reasons. We also find it significant that the Bible on your planet states, "The love of money is the root of all evil." Wars are still being fought on your world over fossil fuels. This deeply saddens us, and we have solutions for your civilization that will last for years to come. Your world will be introduced to technologies you never believed possible, and we are excited to share them with you, as they will not only destroy poverty and injustice, but also revitalize your planet's biosphere.